Welcome to Vegas Business Spotlight, the podcast that brings you the brightest minds and success stories from the bustling business scene in and around Las Vegas. Join us as we journey behind the neon lights and uncover the strategies, triumphs, and insights that shape the entrepreneurial landscape of the City of Lights. From visionary startups to industry titans, get ready to be inspired by the stories of those who've turned dreams into reality on this iconic stage. And now, your host, Tim Knifton.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Vegas Business Spotlight, sponsored by RSVP Las Vegas. I'm Tim Knifton, your host, and I'm thrilled to have you here today with us as we continue our journey through the vibrant world of Las Vegas entrepreneurship. Before we dive into today's conversation, I want to extend a warm welcome to our featured guest. Joining us today is Craig Murrin with Black Point Capital Partners. We're honored to have him on the show today to share his experiences, insights, and wisdom he has gained over his remarkable journey to success. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Craig, welcome to Vegas Business Spotlight. We're delighted to have you here today. How are you doing?
I'm really good, thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to spending the next 20, 30 minutes with you.
Fantastic. Well, let's jump right in and start by hearing a bit about your journey and the incredible work you're doing here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So I always like to start with a little elevator pitch, or why Craig Murrin?
Why Craig Murrin? That's the question on the end of everybody's lips. I have got a global reach and a global wealth of experience in the financial planning sector. So to work with me, you're not just getting an advisor that has done a couple of exams and just sort of sits in an office here in the US on a daily basis. I have traveled the world. I've worked with multiple people in different sectors, helping understand their financial footprint. So I've got a good bit of knowledge across the board of things that have gone wrong in the past and things that were good. And I think that brings a different level of expertise to the table when working with people and their financial plans.
Yeah, that's great. That's amazing how you've worked internationally. I haven't heard that from any other financial advisors. So that brings a lot to the table.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about your early days in getting started in financial advising?
Sure. Yeah. I am originally from a place called Bristol in the UK. I left there in around 2000. Whilst I was there, I'd worked for about 10 years in an insurance office dealing with commercial insurance, property insurance, liability insurance, and kind of higher level stuff. Went to work in the Middle East and started working with expats from a financial planning perspective, helping them understand their global financial footprint. So I was working in the Middle East for almost 10 years and then moved out to the US in 2017, still doing the same thing. I'm not very good at other things. I'm very good at working with people and helping them kind of understand what they can and can't do and make sure they put the right foot forward. But moved here in 2017 with my wife. Her family have been in Vegas since '98, so it was an easy setup. And now I'm here.
Sure. Were there any challenges when you started out?
As with everything, I think as soon as you're starting in any industry, it's the fact you're new. Nobody's going to necessarily come to you and ask for advice when you're brand new in an industry. So the problems or what I did was just get learning, get educating, understand everything that I need to know so that I've got all the answers. So I might be new in the business when I was 20 years ago, but I knew all the answers correctly so that when people ask questions, I knew what I was talking about. And that's just grown. My confidence has grown as I've grown to the point I am today.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, I really like how you mentioned just learn everything about your industry when you're starting. That is definitely wonderful advice for somebody new and starting out.
Yeah, so. We're all young, right? We're all new in any industry we do. We're all going to be the first at it at some point. So we can't hold that against somebody. There's no point in, I don't want to work with that individual because they're new. That's not fair. If they don't know what they're talking about, great, good reason not to work with someone. But so anything you do, just learn it so that there's no reason why people can't work with you.
Absolutely. So Las Vegas is known for its vibrant and unique business landscape. You know, the Raiders came into town. The A's are coming into town. F1 racing's coming into town. We're getting the Super Bowl. So how has how has being based in Las Vegas influenced your business strategy and decisions?
I can work with anybody across the US and actually globally. So for me, it's being here in Las Vegas. It's great for travel. It's great because it is an international town. There's a lot of people that come through, so I can meet with clients that maybe live over in different states that are coming through Vegas. So I can certainly get some face-to-face time with people instead of Zooms. But it's the pull of this city is getting bigger and bigger every single day. I mean, I moved here 6 years ago, and in the last 6 years, the growth of the valley has been massive. So I'm excited for the new businesses that are coming here because that will bring clientele for me, even though I don't necessarily need to be located in Vegas for any reason. But it seems to be the place in the US that's growing the most, if you ask me.
Yeah. Were there any specific advantages? You mentioned travel in Las Vegas, but what other specific advantages?
Temperature, weather. I mean, I come from the UK where it's grey every day, Tim. So for me, blue sky is so important in my life.
Yeah.
The tax benefits of being in Nevada are really quite good as well. When you're looking at financial planning and you're looking to help people grow, you want to be, in a tax-friendly state, I think, because that's where a lot of retirees will come, and that's kind of my target market is helping people get to retirement. So Vegas is a great hub for. You can travel anywhere in the world from here. Most big cities in the world will fly to Las Vegas. So if they fly to here, it means from here you can get to them. So I like it for that reason.
Yeah, definitely. So what advice do you have for someone starting out as an entrepreneur?
I think pick the industry you're going to choose to start a business in, whatever that might be, and whatever you're good at, whatever your skill set's at, find a gap in the market and then deliver your services for it. So certainly from a financial planning point of view, I think there's a gap for Brits in America, not understanding their British financial footprint. So for me, that's my kind of USP. That's what I look at, and that's what I kind of target to try and be different to everyone else. And I think being an entrepreneur, setting up a business, you've got to try and find that element of your business that's going to be different to everyone else and that's going to want to make people want to work with you.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I know we've talked about you have a unique value for British in America or pretty much anywhere. Could you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So the unique element from the Brits in America side of things is that if you're an American in America, you've got your financial plans in place. You might have a 401k, an IRA, Social Security. You might be putting some money into treasury bonds, I-bonds, things like that. But you sit down with your US advisor and they understand it all. But what if you're a Brit and you've got a British pension that's sitting in pounds back in a country you know nothing about, and you sit down with your advisor and they look at you and go, I have no idea what you can and can't do with that. I have no idea what we can invest in. I don't even know what the currency exchange rate is right now. So what I can do is just highlight some key areas where you might be able to tweak your investment. You might be able to access some funds. You might be able to move the portfolio in the UK into something that's a little bit more tailored to you. So certainly from a UK pension point of view, the government pension in the UK. Here in the US, we get Social Security. Are Brits entitled to their UK government pension whilst they're living here? Yes, of course they are. How do they get it? There's an app, there's an online application you can go through, and telephone numbers you can ring. There's all sorts of access points online to find out this information. But if you don't know where to look, you don't know what to do. So me being a UK advisor in the US just brings that extra element of expertise to the people that don't know what they don't know.
Yeah. Can you share a pivotal moment or lesson from your own journey that might inspire others?
A pivotal moment or oh goodness, I should have prepared a little bit for this. I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason, right? No matter if it's bad or good, everything happens and will get you to where you need to be if that's where you need to be. So lost my mum at a young age, which was a shame. And I think that made me realize that no matter what happens, every day will keep coming. And you've just got to rise above it and work through it. So no matter what life throws at you, keep going till tomorrow, because you never know, tomorrow might open another door that you go, goodness me, this is brilliant. Life is perfect now. Although you might have just gone through something bad the day before. So that for me is just always be positive, and always, no matter what happens, it will lead to good.
Wow, that's great. So building and sustaining a successful business requires adaptability. Can you tell us about a time you've had to pivot or make a major change in your business model?
Certainly back in 2016, a product that we were offering to people that were residing in this country got pulled. We were no longer able to offer a product to people to move their UK pensions into an international vehicle. And so for 2 years, it really just stopped happening. So at that point, as an industry, we've got to look at, well, what are we doing here? Why are we in America? Are we just a one-stop shop for advice, just being able to offer one product? Or are we a fully fledged holistic financial planning service? And that's what we wanted to be. So it had to stop from being, we're only offering one product, to no, we're here for the long term. We're here for everything, and we can help with everything. So it was a case of, all right, we can't do one thing, we can do 10.
Wow, that's great. So Las Vegas is known for its diverse industries. Can you share some insights in how you've tapped into that diversity in your business success?
Networking. Networking is the way forward. No matter where you are, what country you're in, what city you're in, you need to have a network. And certainly when I first moved here, I knew 6 people, and they were all Nicole's family. So I got out and started building my network, started introducing myself to people, getting to know people across the board, not in my sector, but in every sector. So I've got people in certain sales industry. I've got a network, BNI, for example. I've got 38 people in my BNI group, including yourself, Tim, that I can reach out to as experts in any and every industry. So I think if you're starting out, get a network, get out and start introducing yourself to people and try and help them. Don't look at it to help yourself. Try and help as many people around you as possible, selflessly. And I think you'll start to find your network will grow.
Absolutely. As Dr. Ivan Meisner says, give, give, give.
Give, give, give. It's all about giving. Giver's gain is the words I live by. I don't look to do anything for myself. I look to help as many people as possible. And you never know, in turn, those people might help me.
Absolutely. Have you found any surprising connections or celebrities as you've been going around networking?
I've been introduced to a couple of, I say celebrities, if you like, in my work at the NSPCA charity. But in my financial advising career, I haven't come across that many celebrities. Given the walks that they, or the people they walk with, I'd love to be introduced at some point, but I haven't yet. Many celebrities for sure, but I don't know what you would call a celebrity. I haven't come across David Beckham, put it that way.
All right. We'll put that on your bucket list. All right.
Yeah, right. That's my manifest. Let's get introduced to him.
Perfect. So you mentioned networking is crucial for business growth. Can you share some tips on building meaningful relationships?
Go in with good intent. Listen. I think listening out to what your networking colleagues are looking for and trying to actively seek that introduction for them. If you've got a network of people that are all going out trying to find you leads and trying to find you introductions, then it makes your life a lot easier. So I think if you're going in with the good intention of trying to help other people, asking them straight away, how can I help you, Tim? How can I help so-and-so? How can I help so-and-so? And then listening out to when you hear people talking out in public, if you're at a restaurant, things like that, you can hear other people talking, and you can hear if somebody's needing something. And I'm sure if somebody is in need of a good plumber or a good electrician, and you've got one, and you lean over and say, hey, I couldn't help but hear you say you needed someone, here's their card, I guarantee you that they will be appreciative of you passing the details. So it's just always be listening and always try and help people.
Perfect. So in the world of business, failures and setbacks are just part of the journey. Can you share a challenging moment in your career and how you overcame it?
Well, as I said about the pension aspects of not being able to sell a product, we just had to pivot and start selling and start advising in other ways. We just, You can't just stop as soon as you get a brick wall in front of you. There's a way around it or a way over it. You've just got to find that solution. And if that's pivoting to a different aspect of advice or a different product that you're offering people, then so be it. But people will always need guidance and help. So it's just trying to make sure that you're offering it as best you can.
Absolutely. So as a business owner, I'm sure you have a vision for your future. What are your goals and aspirations for your business?
I sort of got a 1, a 3, a 5, and a 10-year plan. Year one is just kind of get everything ironed out, get everything correct, get all clients on the right path, I think. And then the 3-year will be to multiply that. 5 years, certainly I've got a vision of an amount of money that I need to be managing in 5 years' time, and certainly in 10 years' time as well. But it's just expanding my existing clients and helping them maximize their portfolios. And in turn, that will grow to more business. That will grow to referrals. That will grow to the business itself growing. The markets will increase. The value of the investments will grow, hopefully, in that time as well. And it's just making sure that everybody gets to where they need to be with the money that they need. Ultimately, that's the key. But growth is always part of that. And I would love to triple my business in the next 5 years.
Yeah. Can you share any upcoming projects you're excited about?
Upcoming projects. Yes, we are working a lot with clients here in the US, helping them reduce their future taxes. So I'm looking at doing a specific webinar here in Las Vegas on the 11th of November, which is going to help people plan for their future, ask any questions they need to ask. It's going to be quite a light webinar, a little bit of a presentation about financial planning, and then more of a Q&A for the guests on to ask me any questions that they might have, whether it be UK specific. I'm going to certainly send it out to the Brits in the region to start with, and then looking at expanding out to the Americans here as well. But really just giving them me as a resource for an hour to ask any questions that they might think they need, and so that they don't need to charge or pay a fee to get that information.
Wow, that's great. If any of our listeners are interested in attending that webinar, where can they find that online?
It's going to be a Zoom link. If you send me an email, I can send you a link. It will be just posted out on Facebook on the Brits and Irish in Las Vegas page to start with, and then we're looking at expanding it out to the greater community if we have a successful first run. But if you need to get on the list, you can either send me an email, c.murrin@blackpointcp.com, or ping me a text, 702-708-8610.
So how do you plan on giving back to the Las Vegas community through your success?
I do a lot of work with animals. I do help a few charities in town, 3 Square and a few others, but the Nevada SPCA is where I focus a lot of my time when giving back to the community. I strongly believe that animals are, sometimes animals are better than people, but I think the animals don't have a voice enough. So being that voice for them to make sure that they get the support or get the safety that they need. Homeless pets is a big problem here in Las Vegas with that. So I do what I can to make sure that they've got the homes and get the support they needed as well.
Perfect. So finally, reflecting on your journey, what's one piece of advice or a mantra that you carry with you in your business endeavors?
So I do have a mantra that I say every day, but I won't repeat it for this because it's not exactly the positive mantra of that you're probably looking for. But honestly, I think that you've got to look at yourself in any position you're in. You've got to realize that no matter who you're dealing with, no matter what company you're working with, the person on the other end probably is just as clueless in their position. So don't worry if you don't know what you're doing straight away. You can learn it, you can get to know it. And the person that you're dealing with on the other end is probably thinking the same thing that you are. So as you grow older, you realize that we're all just trying to get through this life one step at a time. And education is key. Just learn everything you can. Just keep supping it up and learn as much as you possibly can about your particular field, and you'll be fine.
Wow, that's great. So, Craig, I understand you're a wine connoisseur. What's your favorite 3 bottles of wine right now?
I am loving Dow Rosé, Dow out of Paso Robles. I am equally enjoying Justin wine, Justin Cabernet out of Paso Robles as well. They've got a fantastic isosceles. In fact, they've got a great isosceles reserve as well, but that one's not necessarily your daily wine. And honestly, just a shout out to the Vegas Valley Winery in town, because we make wine there, and that is a great daily drinking wine, cost effective. And that works for me on a daily basis. But otherwise, the wines from Paso are very, very good.
Yes, my wife would agree with you 100%. We went there wine tasting this summer.
Oh, it's great.
So we loved it. So, and I probably already know the answer to this next question, but what's your 3 favorite wine clubs?
3 favorite wine clubs. Temecula. I would go Wilson Creek in Temecula, just down the road. They send wine every other month, and it's usually pretty good. I've not had a bad wine from them. And if you're down in Temecula, check out Wilson Creek. They're the biggest winery down there. And then Dow and Justin. I love Dow and Justin. I love the reds there. They're smooth, easy to drink. So yeah, those would be my top 3.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, Craig, thank you so much. This is going to conclude Vegas Business Spotlight. And again, you'll hear from us next week. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Vegas Business Spotlight. For more inspiring stories and insights from the Las Vegas business community, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. And remember, you can catch new episodes each week at vegasbusinessspotlight.com, where we keep the spotlight shining bright on the entrepreneurs who make Las Vegas thrive. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next week.